Hey guys, welcome to our 1% Top Recruiter Zoom for the week. We have some very, very special guests on tonight. Top money earners Tae and Carrie Young. Hey Carrie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for hopping on with us a little bit late. I know you're a new mama and you are just exhausted.
Am I cutting out or are you?
It's probably me. Hold on just a second. I'm switching over.
Okay.
One second. Okay, is that better?
Yes.
I have to use a hotspot to do Zooms. It's amazing.
Dang.
So, are you guys getting baby situated? Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, Tay's right here.
Awesome. Well, good. Okay, so this is myself and three other VIP leaders and our 1% producers. So we have people on here who are brand new, been in the business for a month, and we have people who have been in the business for many, many years, all different levels, all different experiences, all different backgrounds, but they all have one thing in common. They're very hungry and they're working. So I'm really, really excited for them to meet you. So if you guys could just tell everybody who you are and where you're from and how long you've been in the business and share your story.
Okay, so I'm Carrie, and this and I started this business 6 years ago. My cousin was like, "You should do this," and it took me 6 months to join her because I was like, "This is a scam, whatever." You know, what everybody says. I was just so skeptical, and so I really just wanted a few extra $100 to make my car payment and extra money to go shopping, and so I just did this part time for about 6 months. And then it wasn't until I realized I was like, man, I really hate my job. I was a nanny and I was also in the Army Guard and I'd also just graduated college. I was also a personal trainer. I feel like I just did everything. I was a bartender. I mean, I literally did anything that you could to make money. And so I was like, man, I hated being a nanny. And so I was like, man, I really should do this. And so I went to an event because my cousin was like, dude, you should go to this event. I was like, okay. So I went and I saw this lady and she was making $10,000 a month and she was shy and she had like 700 kids. And didn't have no kids at that time and I was not shy. And I was like, man, if she has 700 kids, I could do this business. Like if she's making that much money, I could do this. And so that was when I asked like, geez, why not me, you know? And so I really jumped in, and 3 months later, I went diamond, replaced my full time income. The next month, I got my parents diamond. And so that was pretty cool because they helped me like my whole life, like through college and everything. And so it was like cool to be able to like repay them some of the money. And then we got pregnant with Riley. And I sat at Diamond for like over a year. I couldn't get to double for some reason. I literally just tried and tried and tried. Could not get to double. My emerald just literally just kept falling apart, which was him. He was my emerald. And I couldn't get him to emerald. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get to diamond or double or whatever. And then it wasn't until I had a C-section with Riley and I had 9 girls on my team go to conference without me. And 8 of the 9 came home, went diamond and above. We ran. I mean, we literally, and I didn't get to go, but I wanted to go so bad. I almost got on a plane, but they said I shouldn't, you know, because I had just literally had a C-section. They're like, this is major surgery. And so I just remember them placing Riley in my arms and I was just like, man, I'm never gonna look you in the face and say that I can't do or that you're not worth this. And so I was like, I'm gonna just do whatever I can to just give you the world. And I think that was like I think when I joined this business, like, or when I was like, I want to quit my job, like, all I could think about was making enough money to quit my job, you know? And so I ended up making, when I was a diamond, because they were also going to deploy me, actually. And when I was going to get deployed, I think I was going to make about like $4,000 a month, like tax free or whatever. And so when I reached that with diamond, I was making like $4,000 to $5,000 a month as a diamond. And when I reached that, that was all that I could picture. Like I couldn't imagine more than that as a like that because that's what was possible with me in the military. So I was like, oh, well, that's awesome. I'm doing great. So I think it took me having a child, or basically it took me having a new why to really go farther. And so at the time we were living in my parents' basement when I had the C-section. Tay was working 3 jobs, and yeah, it was really hard because it was my first kid and he was super colicky. She's like beautiful. You guys, she barely cries. This is absolutely like, I probably heard her cry like maybe 20 times, and she's been born for over 20 days. So it's just her tummy's hurts right now. So I just put her. But anyways, so I went, sorry, I'm still at the diamond here, you guys. I was like, I can hurry up. Okay. So we went, my team went to conference. We came back. We went from diamond to presidential diamond in 6 months. His account went from a distributor, or Ruby being paid as a distributor, to over $13,000 just for his account alone. And so we were making bank, and that was crazy. So we moved out of my parents' house, built our first house, put $50,000 down, bought a brand new truck, over $50,000 in cash, all in the same year. Like, who does that? And I was only like 23. Like, who gets to do that? And so a couple months later, conference came again. So I was a diamond the January, and then that following February, I was ambassador. And then now, just really fast forward, the next month I took his account presidential, and now I opened my 2.0, and my 2.0 is presidential. And so we've been in the business for 6 years. We've done a lot. We've moved to Florida. We have 2 more kids now. So we now have 3.
That's amazing. And you look fabulous. You look
Thanks.
so good on stage. I was like, how did she just have a baby? Like, what is that?
Our products.
Yeah, right? That's amazing. So I have a question, and I know like Brittany and Mary Lisa are probably going to pop up and ask some questions, but what kept you going when you initially hit that first income level where you were like, this is what I need? Like that was all you could envision, and you were like, okay, I just accomplished this, and this is what I need. What kept you going beyond that?
So, I was pregnant when I hit where I was a diamond. So for a while, and I was still making really good money. And then I was pregnant. And so I actually kind of fell off. Like, I was going to quit because, I was like, I don't need this business anymore, because I lost rank. I actually ended up losing rank because I thought, oh, you get there to diamond and then you're good. Like, I'm making great money. Like, I don't need to and I was also very sick. And so I didn't really work the business. I mean, I literally, guys, I think I fell off for 3 months. I mean, it was just horrible sickness, whatever. And so my paycheck started to go down. I didn't see it until 90 days later. And so I thank God for residual income, because I was still making money. Then all of a sudden I saw I was being paid as a Ruby, and I think I was only making $600. And I was like, my upline ended up calling me, and she was like, I'm just gonna quit. I don't need this. Like, I don't need this. I was such a turd, dude. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, I'm good. And I probably got $2,000 in my bank account, but that was good to me. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I'm good. Like, I got enough money. You know what I mean? I don't need this business. And then I think I got that $600 check, and I was about to have a baby. So I was like, oh, I said, you can either look at this and quit, or you can never see a paycheck this low again. And I'll never see a paycheck that low again. And so I went to work and got my diamond back. And then January came, and that was when 9 girls on my team went to conference, and it just changed everything for us. And so I think it was really just having my son and just creating a new why, and him missing so many moments of Riley's, and not wanting to raise your kid by yourself. It sucks doing that. I mean, not saying that he was there, but it's a way different experience. Like, we both stay home and we both take care of the baby, all day, basically. With both Asher and Aubrey, we did that for both our babies. But Riley, I had to do that for the first 6 months. I mean, he could help when he wasn't working, but and it's hard. It's hard. Moms, it's hard. And so it's awesome when you have a husband that can stay home with you.
That sounds amazing. I don't get to do that. But that sounds amazing. Oh my goodness. So, okay, Brittany, Mary Lisa, what questions do you guys have for Tae and Carrie?
Hey, Carrie. Hey, guys.
Hello.
All right. So, one of my biggest questions, and I know my team too, a lot of our team still works a full-time job. So what would you say some of your best tips are as far as scheduling and just getting organized and different things like that for the 9-to-5ers that still work that want to make time for their business?
I just feel like you make time for what you want to accomplish. You know what I mean? And so I think everybody's busy. I mean, I'm still busy. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we have 3 kids now and life is crazy. But either way, if you work a job, everyone who's retired in this business or who's replaced their full-time income had a job before this. So like, it's possible. And so I guess like realistic things, I would say what everybody says is wake up an hour earlier or go to bed an hour later, or I don't know, like you just figure it out. Like you find time to work. And I think Christina Watts, I just think about other people's stories. I think she was a dispatcher, a police dispatcher working like 70 hours a week, and she couldn't even be on her phone during that time. And she still went presidential, and Erin Tweed was a nurse and she worked all the time. And so she said she worked at 15 minutes on her lunch break and 15 minutes here and there and at stoplights. Like you just figure it out. So like whatever schedule you have to make it, like you figure it out.
Absolutely. Yes, I love that. I'm all about that too. You make time for what you want to make time for. Like, guys, let's be honest. We probably got some Bachelor fans in here, right? We got some Bachelor fans in here, maybe. Okay. So I'm sure all you ladies are making time on Monday night for 2 hours to sit there and watch your Bachelor. If you can do that, you can make time for this business. All right, Noelle, what you got for us?
Mary Lisa, you have a question?
That was like our prime question as well, which she already answered. And then I like mic dropped there and I was like, thank you. Like that was perfect. But I guess I do have some, stay-at-home moms who are also working the business, and they do come to me with the struggle of like, okay, my kids are all over me. I don't know what to do. Like I can't work this business because this, that, or the other. So you obviously have children. What is your insight on that? Do you have a schedule? Do you just go with the flow, or what does the day look like for you guys?
Well, I also remember when I was taking care of Riley and he was colicky, you guys, like my first child was not fun. And so I remember like, oh, he cried all the time and I could never put him down. Like I barely got to shower, you don't oh my God, it was horrible. I barely slept. And so I remember one time I was like so tired and, I just had a C-section. I was like, geez, I could either work this business or I could go to sleep. And then I was like, no, F it, I gotta work this business. And so I just remember working through like being so tired and like, so I mean, you are gonna be busy, like, and you just like, again, you figure it out. Like, when can you work this business? Like, I know not every kid goes down for a nap, but give your kid a damn iPad. Like, I don't know. I mean, if I'm just being really honest, or put them in front of the TV for 30 minutes. They're gonna live. I mean, I feel like I survived and I watched TV my whole life, And, but I mean, if you're really like that, then give them something. They don't need you all day long. They need things to play with. So get your kids to be self-sufficient and go and play in your playroom or whatever. And then you can sit on your phone and work and I think it's all just about like being intentional. So like if you play with your kids, or let's say like, I don't know, Jade's really good at this because she's like, I think what she does is like, she works her business while her kids are in school while Levi's in school. But then from like after the kids get out of school at 5, from 5 to 8 is family time. So you put your phone down during family time, and then at 8 o'clock, it's time to work. And so like you have to like, and so I think if you also like have a conversation with your husband and just get them on board or explain what your goals are, and then say, okay, well, from this time to this time, I'm working. And so then you sit down during those times to shut yourself in the closet and you do the power hour. I feel like the times that I get the most done, if I like really, really want to bust something out, I could do it. You could literally work this business in 1 to 2 hours a day. I mean, if you're intentional with it. And so when I had no time, which was, when I was really pregnant with her, I was really sick and I literally was exhausted. Pregnancy just doesn't look good at me. And so I just don't feel good. And I was like, you know what? I have to get all this done in an hour or I'll throw up and and I didn't work the rest of the day. So I like literally power houred through the day, and that was it. And then because I was so sick, I just was so unmotivated and whatever, but I still did my power hour and I got things done that I had to get done. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that was good. So I have a question about, because you are a great recruiter, you're constantly doing your steps of success. What number were you guys this year?
14.
14. That's amazing. And I mean, seriously, like you said, you've been sick and pregnant and you just had a baby and you're doing all the things. And I can't believe that you're on a Zoom for us like a month after she's been born, not even a month. But thank you. But how do you onboard, like what are you doing for your new distributors in their first 30 days that's getting them up and running quickly?
So what I do is I just have a 6-step system, and that's just what I always do. I literally train everyone the exact same, and some people take off and some just don't. And so I'm like, it's not my responsibility if they do or not. Like, I mean, you have to honestly, like, I just let it go, because otherwise you just like get down on yourself and you're like, oh, I suck at this. Has anybody ever a distributor who like just goes to you and you're like, damn, am I not good at training? You know? So now I just tell myself, no, I'm awesome. I'm an awesome trainer. Like, so I just try to pump myself up. So, and so my 6-step training is super simple. I send them 2 voice messages. It's the same 2 voice messages I've sent like the last 2 to 3 years. Literally, it's always forwarded. Everything, all my training is forwarded. So I just forward it to them. So it makes it so easy for me. So the voice message basically tells them like I'm excited for them. It explains that that they're not going to become millionaires overnight, and that this business takes a lot of work, and that they need to give this business a year, because I said my upline once told me that you should give this business a year because it'll change your life. And I thought that was the stupidest thing ever. But honestly, like 9 months later, I replaced my full-time income and our life has never been the same. And so I just want you to know that success does take time. We are going to work together, but at the end of the day, you have to decide if you want this, and it's going to be on you. And so basically, I put it all in their court. Like, either you're going to want this or not, and I'm not responsible for your success. Because I feel like sometimes if you just take that burden off yourself, then it makes me feel better. Like, because if they don't go, some people take off, some people don't. It's just fine. And so the voice message is really huge. They're fired up after I send them those. And then I have them log in. I give them like a hair, skin, and nails post. Who wants to grow their hair? So simple. So I walk them through those conversations. I give them a poll, like a hair, skin, and nail poll. Like, literally, I just get them going right away. So they log in, a post, and then they write their list, 30 people. We send messages to their 30 people. And then I teach them how to host a post. And what else do I do? I literally don't remember. I just kind of make up the rest of it. Sometimes I kind of see where their head's at. Because sometimes at this point I lose them. This is the weirdest thing. Like, so I have been trying to get them on FaceTime. Like that, I know you guys get your DJs on FaceTime. That's really helped me. I need to do it, but I've been a little lazy. It's been hard. I just had a baby, but it's fine. And so I'll try to be like, hey, you have time for like a really quick 5 to 10 minute FaceTime? It's going to be really quick. Or a Zoom. They normally say yes. You get them on. You just tell them that you're a real person, that you're excited for them, and then that your goal is your first 6 loyal customers. Mm-hmm. And I add them to the team page. I welcome them. I tell them, listen, you need to post every day. I mean, that's what it is. I go over posting. Hey, you need to post every day. And then I have all these voice messages, basically tell them like the 5 things we do. We post, we message, we follow up, we grow our network, and we do personal development. And then they're in the team page. I try to get them on a Zoom, like a team Zoom like this or something, where they get really inspired. And then they're kind of like on their own, but like they're with me. Like they basically like, I'm here for you, but you need to go and do it now.
So I have a question regarding that. When they make their list of 30, when you message those people, are you having them message them for a host to post, or specifically reaching out to them like about the business products?
Oh yeah, I just say, hey love, I just started my new business and I'm looking for 4 product reviewers. You'd get my huge discount. Can I like send you more info, or would you be interested? And then they say yes, and then I give them a list of products that we have, and then they can answer with like number 1, we have hair, skin, and nails. Number 2, we have this, and then they just answer with the number, and then we give info, and then we just tell them how much it is, and that's what we do. So we walk through like conversations.
That's so simple. Okay, Mary Lisa, questions?
Yeah, I have a question because I have a few power couples on here and some men. So I don't know if Tae ran away or
right here. Yeah.
But I would like, a male's perspective. I don't really have a specific question, but whatever you guys can give to the people who are working this together as couples, or just a man by himself as well.
What was the question? I didn't hear what you
Sorry,
said.
she fucking.
Just like your best advice as to how you guys work this as a couple, how maybe you got started, what exactly you do or comfortable with that's different than what us as, you know, predominantly women in the business do. Because I have a few power couples on here and also like single men.
As far as couples, that's probably the only thing I can speak to. I would say to the ladies, just to give them time. Don't try to throw this business at them with everything. For her, it just started with I played sports, so she just offered a product that will help me. That was New You, and I've been taking that ever since they got rid of it. And the second thing that she did was she just didn't say, "Hey, you need to go do this for me." She gave me this one little badge, and it said, "Have you tried this rep thing? This little button?" And she said, "Wear it to work." So and this started so many conversations. Got people asking questions, and all I did was, "Hey, here's my girlfriend. Add on Facebook." And that's pretty much what my job was. So I think as the time went on, I started to like almost develop my own belief in the company and just attend events. I think that's what really just got me more interested. And I think as I got more interested, then she kind of asked the question, "Hey, do you want to be a DT?" So she kind of brought me along, not forcing anything on me, but let me kind of catch the vision for myself and just really see what the company about. But just from the beginning, it wasn't supporting her as a business partner. It was just supporting her because she was my significant other. Like whatever she would decide to do, like I would support her. So that never was an issue with me. So for just guys' perspective, I mean, I see this business like it's just so universal. Like we just have products and the opportunity that just is for anybody. I didn't start out for the money. I started out for the time. I worked 3 jobs. I continued to play sports where I continues to have to negotiate what my worth was. And here you come with it works. You go to these conference and they're telling you like you can have more and you can do all these amazing things. And that started to drip on me. So I just saw the opportunity I think the first thing that really started with me was just seeing her show up every single day. Like the only time that I questioned this business was when she said those 3 months that she took off. That was the only time I questioned because I wasn't seeing the results and I also wasn't seeing her put in the work. So for me, it was like, oh, you don't take it serious. So now I can complain about it. But other than that, she's been, ever since we really started this business, she showed up every single day like it was her first time joining. And I think that's what I love about her because she can do a lot of things, but her work ethic is the most important thing that I think she has because she show up every day. And for me, just seeing somebody with that confidence, it's like, why don't you just continue to support her and you can also do the same. So for the guys, I mean, if you're single within this business, I think you just have to not look at it as a products for men or products for women. I think you have to look at this as an opportunity for anybody. Like if you think about everything that Mark and people got on stage talked about at conference, they talked about where we were going. Like all you have to do is sell people that dream, sell people that vision. And I think if you can get excited about that, then if you and go out and tell people about it, like they're gonna want what you're selling. So don't focus on trying to like decide which product fits this type of person. Talk to them about the vision that Mark has for this company and continue to lead with that. And I think if you can talk about the vision and the goals and everything that it works as a company, it works as a whole one to a company, then people are gonna want whatever you have as long as you're excited about it. So and just continue to use the products. Me, I use the products every single day, and I just consistently post it every single day. You may not see a pill bottle or anything, but you're gonna see. I drink the coffee every day. I'm gonna post the coffee cup every single day, and people are gonna continue to ask questions like, "What is in this cup? What is in this cup?" I see you're consistent with these products, so when I go out to reach out to somebody, they're not gonna be like, "Well, do you take the products?" They'll say, "Well, I see you drink this every single day. Can you tell me more about it?" So I think you just have to be consistent, continue to show up, and just always be open for business. That's when I say Carrie show up every single day. Like she is open for business all day long, and people see that, and people follow her for years. And sometimes, you know, it takes people following you for years because they just want to see like how long is this wave gonna ride out? And for her, like this wave is gonna last forever. And I think people see that, and I think that's why a lot of people believe in her from the beginning. They just drawn to the confidence that she has because they see her every single day showing up. So I hope that helped, and I hope that answers some of the questions that you had.
Yeah, that was great. My team is loving your response and your energy and the way that you admire Carrie and talk so highly of her. So thank you for sharing.
I think one of the things that you did too is we got to an event.
Yeah, I think
like I got on a green carpet.
And what it was is I didn't like she she would say like, I want to retire, and I'm like, go ahead and do that. But I think I went to an event and I saw guys who had been retired by that, and I was like, oh, like this is a real thing. Like this is actually possible. And once I saw it was possible, it was game over. But it wasn't just seeing the guys retired. I think it was just getting there and like hearing at the time Dr. Dunn talk about the products and what the products actually can do for you. And so I started taking the products more seriously, and I started taking them and being more consistent. I think once I started to do that, I started to see the results, and I think they started to be more effective for me. But definitely just going and just showing up to that event and just seeing like, this is possible. This isn't just people posting on Instagram, posting on social media, saying these things. Like people are really doing these things. So her just, like I said, just bringing me along slowly, not pushing anything on me, and just continue to like offer me like, hey, would you do this? Hey, would you do that? And not just telling me, hey, you should go out and do these things. So I think that really did open up my eyes to what's possible within this company.
And I think getting him to all the events, because I remember when we went as a diamond, and then the next green carpet, we were triple and triple, and I went presidential like the week after green carpet or whatever. And then he retired right after that. But what was so crazy is I remember when you were stopping wearing your shirts. Like we used to wear work shirts all the time, and then all of a sudden I was like, geez, he's not wearing his work shirts anymore. His fire's out, and like I was like, thumbs up. And then we went to the event, and then he was wearing them every day, and he was fired up. So everyone needs the event, not just you, but like if you want your significant other to support you and be on board, get them to the fire too, and then they'll say, oh, I see why you're doing this. So like I think both of us need sparks all the time. Like not like. We're fired up, but like when you leave an event, you're even more fired up.
Yeah, just a little extra push. I do have like a little piggyback, and either of you can answer this question, but a lot like in two of my power couples, it seems that it's like the man who wants it more than the woman, or is working it more than the woman because of certain circumstances. So like, do you have any advice, or just treat it the same as if it was the reversed, or what do you have for me?
Yeah, she needs to go to an event.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, like you personality, like she do not need me to run this business. Like she is so red that she can just do this in her sleep. So when I retired, like I didn't get that. And I came and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna compete with you, I'm gonna do all these things. And me giving 50% and her giving 50% just did not work. So it wasn't until I decided like, hey, you are a rock star. Give this 100%. And I will focus 100% on our family and everything else. And I think once we start doing 100%, doing our part, that's when we start to see the fruit. So I think they just have to have that conversation. Like what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? And they need to complement each other instead of compete with each other. So once I like learned, like I cannot compete with this woman because this is what she loves to do. This is a hobby. This is like she's passionate about it. And once I kind of opened up my eyes to that and I start feeding her strengths instead of focusing on all her weaknesses and trying to fill those voids, I think that's when we start to see the results. So I think they just have to sit down and just have that conversation, like really identify what it is, why did they join this business, and what do they want to get out of this business, and continue to move forward like that. And I think if they do that and they just really get on the same page, I think they will start to see the results that they really want if they're not already seeing those results. You can add, babe.
That was good. I agree.
Yeah, I could keep going forever, but I don't know if Noelle or Brittany have more questions, and I know your time is limited, so.
Oh, you're fine.
I know we have a bedtime, so we're gonna honor that.
Kids, they're fine.
Trust me, I know your hours are precious when you're sleeping. So, Brittany, do you have anything else?
I think you guys have pretty much covered all our questions. Great questions tonight.
Yes, that was so good. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the recording for just a second.